Norris has just spoken out about Verstappen and the title fight for the first time since losing big in Brazil. And although Brazil 2024 will be remembered as the day Lando Norris lost the World Championship, some fans believe the true cause can be traced back to the first 5 races of the season and McLaren's disadvantage. Norris lined up on pole for the Brazilian Grand Prix, dreaming of his first world title after taking points away from Max Verstappen's lead in 5 of the 6 races coming up to the event, as well as 3 in the sprint. Brazil was the death knell for Norris, but not the reason. And then, it imploded. Despite starting P1 to Verstappen's P17, the Red Bull driver dominated the battle as he sprinted to victory, with a little help from the timing of a red flag for Franco Colapinto's wrecked Williams. Verstappen moved from 17th to 2nd at the red flag, 2nd to 1st, and then won by over 20 seconds in perhaps one of the finest wet weather performances in Formula 1. Norris dropped from 1st to 4th because he had already pitted before the race was red flagged, and then from 4th to 6th due to 2 blunders that cost him places. He also went from 44 points behind Verstappen to 62, effectively ending the title battle, or disaster, for Verstappen, as all the Dutchman has to do is score 2 points more than Norris in the next race in Las Vegas to become a 4-time world champion. Brazil may be remembered as the day Norris lost the title, but Lando Norris will now think he has what it takes to overcome Max Verstappen, but he must use the opportunity to start F1 2025 strong to have a chance. That is the allegation made by FIA steward Johnny Herbert, who expects Norris to come back next season after his F1 2024 title. Ambitions were practically dashed in Brazil. Initially, the odds were stacked in Norris's advantage at the Brazilian Grand Prix, with Verstappen starting P17, but the Dutchman delivered an epic effort to win the race and extend his lead over Norris to 62 points with 3 rounds remaining. After Verstappen's strong start to the season, McLaren and Norris emerged as a danger to his chase of a 4th consecutive title, but Herbert believes it might be game on if Norris can prevent Verstappen from getting a head start in F1 2025. Lando has had to play catch-up, and that is very difficult to do, Herbert said. He's been chipping away at Max's lead, but the points lead now means the title is out of reach unless Max has a dreadful run of bad luck, which won't happen. Lando has to take the positives of what has happened this year. He has driven so well, got poles and improved massively. He has a great chance of starting next year very strongly, and if he can capitalize on that as Max did this year, then who knows what could happen. He will keep on learning. We haven't seen the best of Lando yet, nor for that matter Max. McLaren will learn for next year and have a stronger mindset. Lando will go into 2025 knowing he can beat Max. There are others too, such as Oscar, Piastri, and George Russell, who are only going to get stronger. Ex-F1 team manager Eddie Jordan believes Norris has been too nice in F1 2024, failing to inflict maximum damage on Verstappen's championship lead when he had the opportunity with a better McLaren. Lando Norris has been brought up by an amazing, lovely, beautiful, caring family. And is there an argument to say that he's too nice? Yes, possibly, said Jordan on a recent episode of the Formula for Success podcast. The fact is that Lando Norris will go down in the history books as being one of the most incredibly fastest drivers, possibly not to have won a world championship, and the reason being, he should have been out of sight on several races this year where there is not a chance Max had the car that he had. Jordan's podcast co-star, 13-time race winner David Coulthard, voiced confidence in Norris, believing he only has to take one more step ahead in on-track battle. Coulthard responded to Jordan, "I know you weren't saying he'll never be a world champion, but you're throwing out there that he might not have all the ingredients to win a world championship, going toe-to-toe with the likes of a Max. But I actually take the view that McLaren entered this year as part of their rebuilding, working their way towards challenging for world championships, and it came as a bit of a surprise to them when they were in that position, and it's taken them a little while to adapt and really believe that they can win the Constructors' Championship and that could win the Drivers' Championship. I think they are almost there in their mind, where they've got that attacking mentality that I believe that they've had in the past, and they're certainly getting there now. But I think maybe Lando is the same. He's still maturing into this complete Grand Prix driver. He's got all the speed. We love how open he is. Everything is there. I think that he's still maturing into that person, and I believe in Lando. But at a certain point, he's got to go, "Max, you think I'm going to leave the door open and you can send the car? Well, actually, the door's closed, and if we crash, we crash." It almost needs to be one of those situations, because you race different drivers in a different way. I think Lando is just that one step away from fully understanding how to race his competitors. However, all the pressure and on-track racing has resulted in a different dynamic between the two long-time friends. This has left Lando Norris still contemplating whether he should keep his buddy Max Verstappen and his racing adversary Max Verstappen as different entities. The early stages of F1 2024 showed that Verstappen would stroll to a fourth consecutive world championship, but McLaren and Norris stepped up to provide a title challenge to the Dutchman, who had gone 10 races without a win. During Verstappen's winless streak, the friendship between Verstappen and Norris, who consider themselves friends off the track, was put to the test on several occasions, including a collision in Austria while racing for the lead, and squabbles in Austin and Mexico. Verstappen broke his winless run in spectacular manner at the Brazilian Grand Prix, winning from P17 on the grid, and all but ending Norris's F1 2024 title ambitions. Prior to that race, when speaking to F1 TV, Norris was questioned if on-track events were affecting his relationship with Verstappen. Can he tell the difference between the person standing outside the automobile and the driver inside? "I don't know, I'm split," Norris responded. "In some ways, you kind of think how someone can be personally and how you can get along with people can be so different to how you are on track. It's such a different world there on the track to here, doing this in the paddock. It's my first time being in this situation, and time will tell how that changes. But for now, I still respect Max. I think he respects me, but maybe ask me again at the end of the year." Ahead of the Brazilian Grand Prix, Norris stated that he and Verstappen had not spoken about their previous on-track incidents. "I don't think we need to. I've got nothing to say," he continued. "I still have a lot of respect for Max and everything he does. Not respect for what he did last weekend in Mexico, but respect for him as a person and also what he's achieved. But it's not for me to speak to him. I'm not his teacher. I'm not his mentor or anything like that. Max knows what he has to do. He knows that he did wrong. Deep down, he does, and it's for him to change." Max himself also had some words to say about their friendship and battle on track. Verstappen, for example, said that he leaves the rivalry on the track and can easily be friends off it. "For me, it ends at the circuit," Verstappen states. "I can easily switch gears when we are not racing. As soon as I leave the track, I focus on other things, like friends and family. Racing is an important part of your life, but it's not everything. Some people take it too seriously, and it's also good to switch off for a while." Verstappen is known for going to extremes on the track. "We all want to win, and you do everything for that. I hate losing, so when you race to win. That's how I look at it, and how I live my life. Some people appreciate that more than others. That is also why I am a 3-time world champion. And that is why he'll probably be a 4-time world champion at the end of this week. But what do you think? Can Lando Norris challenge him next year? Does he have what it takes? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.